Greetings, Cleveland, and welcome to Creative Focus, the show that illuminates some of Cleveland's most talented and creative artists across the genres of film, dance, music, theater, and visual arts. I'm your host, Cornell Calhoun III, and today I am thrilled to have on my show actress, artist, the very lovely Miss Mia Jones. Mia, welcome to Creative Focus. Girl, let's chop it up.
Thank you for having me.
So Mia, the last time I saw you, I think we were working on a project. We might have been working on Selma, Alabama,
Okay.
and through Zoom because of COVID. But every time I see you, I smile and I think of Norma Powell, the Karamu legend, because Norma wanted to take credit for discovering you for me, and I know she's somewhere up there in the theater in the sky, just smiling down because she's so proud of you.
She's just saying, yes, she did discover me for you.
I know, every time she would say, I discovered Mia Jones for you. So, okay, Mia, so question. I know you graduated from Lincoln West High School.
Yes.
I know you graduated from Tennessee State University,
Yes.
a proud HBCU,
Yes.
and we have that in common because I went to Talladega College, Talladega, Alabama. You got to give those
You
HBCUs
have
some
to.
props. You got to. So, when did all this creative genius come about for you in terms of? We'll get to the art eventually, but the theater. I mean, did Lincoln West have a theater program? I mean, how did you get started?
Yes, that is actually how I got started. I always had an interest in performing, but not until I really got into high school was when I started performing. So I had a high school professor who was actually also my English teacher. She was a drama teacher, and she was also my softball coach.
And what was her name? Let's give her a shout out.
Her name was, oh gosh, what's her name? Ms. Zach.
Okay.
Sorry, Ms. Zach. Edit that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So her name was Ms. Zach, and she was just awesome. Like, she actually was my first acting coach into performing arts.
Okay. So, and then from there you went to Tennessee State University, and how did that theater? How did you become involved in performing arts there? They had a program, obviously.
Yeah, so going to college, my thought process was I never wanted to hate my job. And in high school, I was a senior office assistant. I knew it, but I didn't really realize like how much a box and a cubicle wasn't my thing. Right. And it was like, when you get an option to choose what it is you want to do, it's like, why not choose something that you enjoy doing, especially if there is a career path in it. So I decided to pick theater. For a lot of people, they thought that was strange, like, well, what else are you going to do? And I was like, art. So they were like, no, seriously. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do theater and I'm going to do art. And I just went with it. And it's one of the best decisions I think that I made.
I would echo that.
Going into college as a performing artist, I was very nervous. So I did a lot of things behind the scenes because, not that I didn't trust my work, but I was like, look at my friends, and the joy of it is your friends are your competition. And I didn't learn that until, like, as I got older. It's like, together we win, so whoever gets the role, like, it's still dope, Right. But so knowing that in college, like, my friends are all dope and I want to come to their shows, instead of being in the show, like, I would be like, all right, can I paint the set? Can I do backstage? Can I help with costumes? Can I do with this? And then I had a professor who was Barry Scott, who in class one day, like, really, like, chewed me out. Like, are you going to come and audition or not? And I'm like, well, and he's like, I mean, you do everything in class. Like, I would do my monologues, I would do all my performances for, class purposes. But when it came to auditioning for the plays that were actually productions at the university, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
And he basically chewed me out and made me audition for the Black's a Clown show and cast me as the missionary. And that probably is like the most profound moment and memorable time of my life with like stepping out. Because the funny thing about it was we were completely masked, and the mask didn't even have a opening for your mouth. So like everything had to be so extra and so dramatic, and your projection had to be so loud. And it was like a way for me to like really get out there, but still not just yet. Because you knew it was me, but you didn't know it was me because I still had this mask on. So that was like the thing that pushed me, like, all right, well, if I could do that, I might as well just take this thing off.
Okay.
And I was fine afterwards.
Okay, so then fast forward, you graduate, you come to Cleveland. What was your first theatrical position or appointment in Cleveland? What did you do?
My first theatrical position in Cleveland, I was stage manager for Karamu House and Ensemble Theater's Bourbon at the Border. And that was at the old Cleveland Playhouse on Carnegie.
I attended that.
That's
I attended
when I
that
met
play.
you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
attended that play. I think Lucia directed that play.
No, Terrence Spivey did.
Okay, so Lucia was there.
Yeah,
That's what it
she
was.
there.
And
yeah.
I hadn't seen Lucia in about 20 years.
Yep,
Okay.
she was there at the show. She
Exactly, and we actually had a conversation at intermission.
Okay.
Okay, so let's look at it in terms of, a lot of people may not know that you are not only an incredible performer, but an incredible director, stage manager, costumer. So and since you've done so much in terms of film and theater recently, what brought you more to the stage as opposed to being behind stage? Was there a moment in, that somebody that lured you out more, or you just decided, hey, I want to perform more instead of being behind the scenes?
No, I kind of think that's part of your fault too.
Oh, it's my fault. Okay.
Because, okay, leaving college after Mr. Barry Scott put me out there was one thing, but I also still came back home to a space where it's like, yes, I perform, but who's here, who's doing what? All right, I know how to do this back behind the scenes stuff too. But after meeting you, you actually were the second person, I believe, that pushed me to perform more versus behind the scenes. Like, my friends say stuff all the time, like, you're good, or you should do this, and I'm like, yeah, but you guys are my friends. So even though I believe that they're telling me the truth, at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, but I'll just help you do this and do this part. But no, you are the second person that's kind of like, Mia Jones, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Get out there.
Yeah.
And
The first thing you did for me was Talladega at the Dobama, and you were incredible. Now let me ask you a question: do you have a preference in terms of being out front or being in the back? Does it make a difference to you?
At this point for me, no. Like, it doesn't make a difference for me because I trust myself more. I'm more confident in what I do, so I know whichever lane that I'm in, I'm going to show up. Before, there was a level of comfort to be behind the scenes because even though you're doing a lot and your name's on it, after the show, you don't get a lot of questions. People don't really know that you're there.
Right.
Something that used to make me very nervous after performing was never performing or getting on stage. It was the questions afterwards, the receiving line afterwards, the people wanting to say, hey, and meet you afterwards.
Right.
So behind the scenes, when I would be in the lighting booth or the soundboard or, whatever, like, people are like, the show was great, and I could be out there minding my own business and nobody's bothering me.
Right.
So that was like a level of protection, I think. When everybody wants to know the star, it I don't know, it makes my claustrophobia come out. But the more that I perform and in both aspects, behind the scenes and in front, the more confident I become and the stronger I am. So I understand now that it is important to allow people to talk to you about what you do, because it's not just so much that they're intruding, they're actually congratulating you, and you're actually inspiring people that didn't know what you do is possible.
Okay. So I've been singing your praises for a while.
Yeah.
And so I want the audience to take a look. Here's a performance by Mia Jones as the Widow Belle Black in the play Central's Lyrics. And she also costumed this show. Take a look.
Ribbons bind and entwine a woman's heart like mine. For you, I learn. For me, you burn. The last days of Leroy Slater.
Look, Belle, please, Belle, after Rowena,
Don't you say her name as long as you have breath.
look, Belle,
Hush. Sam Cole, huh? Sam Cole is a big, important man on Central Avenue.
I knew you was gonna find me one day.
13 years.
Look, I planned to explain it all to you. I said after a few days, and then a week or two, and the weeks turned into months, and the months turned into years. But Belle,
It was like they didn't even care that it was a child that was hurt.
who?
The New Orleans Police Department.
The New Orleans Police Department.
I told them that I'd find you by myself. I'd track you down if it takes me 2 lifetimes. Finally, I went to see Mother LeBeau.
That old voodoo woman? What you go see her for?
We need to talk. I see you two getting acquainted.
I know Leroy Slater better than most women.
Who's Leroy Slater?
Tell her who Leroy Slater is, handsome.
We were married.
Were? You can do better than that, Leroy. Still legally married, sugar.
You and when? When were you married? When you were living in Alabama?
Alabama? Louisiana, sugar. Sammy Boy Hill, whatever he calls himself up north, is Leroy James Slater of New Orleans.
What's she talking about, Sam Cole?
She know about our daughter?
Daughter? You got another child?
Had.
Look, Della, but everything happened so fast between us.
Shame on you, Leroy.
But Belle, I'm sorry about what happened with Rowena. I told you.
I told you never to say her name again. Stop now.
Wow. So what do you remember? What do you remember most about Central Lyrics, if anything? The hair, the 20-inch.
Well, all of it, really. I really enjoyed the fact that you gave me an opportunity to do the wardrobe for it. That was one of the first bigger projects that I had taken on, with casting multiple, or not casting, but dressing multiple actors for a piece. And it actually showed me like, yo, you know what you're doing. Like, you could do this. As far as the performance of it, I think the funniest part I take over it is after, in the end, when Prophet shot and I just walk over him like, ha, that's what you get. That was like the ending of it all was kind of like, oh gosh, how do you end it that way? But I really enjoyed that piece, really, and it was a different twist on Belle, because I've played Belle for you in multiple pieces, but that to me was a different twist on her. And adding the hair was extra.
Yeah, I love that. I love that part. So who are some of the notable performers that you've worked with? Directors and actresses. Some people that you enjoy performing with.
Well, Mr. Cornell Calhoun, the third. I love Christina Johnson and Catrice Monet, Prophet C. I have performed with so many people. I think if I miss somebody, they're gonna be like, why didn't you say my name? But
Just say a lot of people.
well, a lot of people, but not even just to not mention some folks that I haven't, or like, I love performing with Mary Frances. She's awesome. I've actually performed with Nicolas Cage. He's awesome. I've recently met a lot of new actors in the film side of things.
Okay.
That haven't really made a name yet for themselves just yet, but are like on the up and coming of who you should watch out for. I really have to take it back all the way to my college years too, and my friends from college. Like, I have my friend LeBron Robinson, and I have.
I thought you were gonna say LeBron James.
No, he's not. He's not a LeBron James. Well, I should say Scooby, because when you call him LeBron, everybody thinks like,
Right.
you know.
I got a good friend, LeBron. Yeah.
And my friend Chuck Mazzieri, who is a awesome New York actor right now.
Wow.
So these are people that I've grown up with, that I've performed with, and that are totally awesome.
Do you have a dream character that you would like to play if you had an opportunity? If there was a film and a director said you could play any type of character, any character you want, do you have a dream character?
Arya Stark.
Oh yeah.
If I could do like Game of Thrones, Arya Stark type of role.
And I can see that too. I never thought about it before, but I can see that, yeah.
Because it's something that when you first see me, you won't see. But the fact that I'm like, I can kill that. Or at least I think I could,
Yeah,
you know?
I see it, believe me. What do you enjoy most about performing?
I enjoy most about performing, I think, the level of freedom that it gives you. Like, you embody a character, yes. You're portraying a specific role, but I think within doing that, it gives you an opportunity to create something. Like, I think the freedom of creating something for others to interpret is the best thing about performing for me.
Do you have a preference, film or theater? Does it matter?
That answer constantly changes for me. If I'm going to be honest, it is a rotating spiral for me. There was a time when I would answer that question and say, like, they're polar opposites, like, you know, and I have a love-hate for the both. And that's still the core answer, is they are polar opposites, and I have a love-hate for the both. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but there's something about the joy of taking a script and taking a piece, and you have 4 to 6 weeks of rehearsal to build, to nurture that character. And then you have another 4 to 6 weeks to, each show is different, pull something else out of you. Like if someone comes and sees that show on opening night and they come and see it in the middle or they see it on closing, it's going to be a different performance, and they may pull something different out of that. But then theater takes that 4 to 6 weeks out of your life for rehearsal and another 4 to 6 weeks out of your life for performance. So it's kind of like, it's a give and it's a take. It's like you love that you can have this time to build, but also it's draining on you at times to pull that, to build. Whereas in film, the timing is different. You come in, you have your rehearsal, you do your takes, it's set, it goes to editing. And you walk away and you're on the next project, just that fast. So that's the thing, it's like, and then that's a challenge, because as an artist, when you do something and you walk away, do you look like, oh man, if I would have had an extra week with that character, what could I have done? Like, do you think of it that way? Or are you pleased that you can release it fast enough to get to the next? So that question, that answer constantly changes for me, especially at different points where I am in my life, because sometimes now that I do multiple things with wardrobe and stage managing and directing and performing myself, like it's a challenge to be stage managing a show, but also doing costume for another film and also acting in something else. So it becomes a tug of war of like, what do I want to let go at this time? And I fight myself because I don't want to stop any of it. But sometimes I have to learn, like, if I'm going to take this role and this role, you have to take a break from this role. And I haven't yet. So that's why I don't really know how to answer the question, because I haven't taken a break from any of it. I just, like, after a whole day, I sit. And I'm only saying that, and I think I can only answer that because of even how this morning started. So I'm here for the interview, but I'm also stage managing a show currently that I also did wardrobe and props for. And we have a show this evening, and prior to coming here, it's like, I did the laundry, my wardrobe is here, let me bag it, let me tag it. All right, my paintings are in the car, let me roll. So I love the fact that I can do multiple things, but I still need to learn the fact of making myself sit down too, to show up properly for all the things.
Well, we've watched Mia on the stage, and now we're going to take a look at Mia on the film side. So here's Mia Jones in the award-winning film, So Here We Are. Let's take a look.
Where you going?
Where I'm going is grown folks' business. None of y'all.
Hey, too pretty! Demasiado bonita.
Hey! Hey, Alyssa girl!
It's so pretty, looking real pretty.
Yes, sir.
Don't hey. How's my little biker girl doing?
You know how we do it. Right and back.
Hopefully the latter. That sundress is too hot, too pretty.
Blazing like the sun, ain't it?
Via. Dope. Oh, no. Double. Double. You're supposed to be babysitting me.
Supposed to. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Mommy you going downtown with Waterloo Park.
And I'ma tell Mama that I caught you and Dudley Philpott kissing in her basement last week.
We was kissing to cool ourselves off.
Well, that's how it starts.
Wait. Isn't Lil Willie Parker too lil for you, too pretty?
Well, y'all just too young and don't know nothing yet. And that's all I'm gonna say on the matter. Bye, Felicia. I'll be back before Mom gets home from work.
You know, what's interesting about this film, are you aware that this film screened at the Cleveland International Film Festival and in Los Angeles in the month of April, and in July it will screen in Atlanta at the Atlanta Children's Film Festival. So you're getting out there. You're getting out there.
Wow.
So let's flip the script. Okay,
Okay.
we've talked about theater, we've talked about film. Let's talk about your visual art capabilities. And you've brought some beautiful pieces into the studio today. So what influences that side of Mia Jones?
I think I have an overactive brain, so I have to let it out some kind of way. I don't know. I see life in colors. I see things, and I feel like technology is cool, and it's the way of the world, and we have to evolve, but I'm still a hands-on person. I'm still pen to pad. I want to physically create things that people can feel instead of just swipe past. And I think that's what inspires me to continue to create art.
Do you have a title for these pieces that are in the studio today?
Yes, they have a title. The series themselves is a work in progress. I tend to paint things in series.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So this is probably like the fourth series of my creatings, which is this mask series. The interesting thing about this mask series, I started it prior to us all having to wear masks. So it didn't come about because of us wearing masks. It was something that I initially started because I am a multifaceted artist, and I create different things and work in different areas. One of the pieces, the very first piece of this series, which is not here right now, but it was called The Mask We Wear. And it's a large canvas piece with multiple ceramic masks painted of different colors. And the meaning behind that was basically, we are a different person with everyone through how many different people are you throughout the day. Like, if you're a parent, you know, if you have a spouse, you're one way at home, you're one way with your children. You're one way in the public, you're one way with your boss. You're one way with your coworkers, you're one way. So the different colors of those masks were how many people or how many different masks we wear within one day. Wow. And it's the colors mix and mash and mesh because you go through those different emotions and moods within every 24 hours or even within your 8-hour day of whatever you work through. So that was the initial thing that started the mask series. These pieces here, the 3 of these are a set, and they're called the Royals. So that's the royal gold, royal purple, and royal green. And what I think of them is, and the reason that I chose those colors is because, like, we all come from a place of royalty, and we should always look at ourselves as such, as rich, vibrant, glowing people and beings with everything that we touch. So that was the idea of the power behind the Royals. This here behind me is Virtuous Bloom. This piece has been a work in progress for, I'd say, when I started this piece, it looked nothing like this. And then I eventually evolved it into this, and it's complete now, but to get to this point, it took me probably 1.5 years to get to that point. And it was all about, like, building it more so off of the wood. Like the hair, even the hair, that's all paint itself. That's not like something attached to it. That's raised paint off of the canvas. And it's just basically meant to just fully embody yourself and all of your power and your crown. As I grow, the bigger my hair gets, the more I, embrace the crown.
How do you define success for artists? So can an artist be successful if he doesn't sell paintings, or if he doesn't sell a lot of paintings? Do you feel he or she can be successful?
Yes. I don't want to place the success on your sales as an artist. Like, to be a successful artist, the most successful thing you can do is continue to create and trust your process. Your work won't be for everyone, but there's someone that your work is totally for. There will be times when you sell out. There will be times when you go without selling at all, but the amount of sales doesn't equate to your success, because sales could just be because, what is the word I'm looking for? Trendy. Somebody can see you, or the right person can see someone with something that was yours, and now you're trending, so everybody buys it. But does that mean that they know what your work means, and are they buying it for the right reason, and is it being hung and displayed in the right way? So just because you're selling work, that doesn't make you the most successful as an artist.
Do you think that being an artist influences other aspects of your life?
Definitely. Definitely it does. Being an artist helps me to see things from all angles. Because as an artist, what I do is I mix colors, I mix layers, I look at things from a different perspective. I walk away from it, I come back, I turn the canvas upside down. So that also helps me in different aspects of my life, as far as conversations and business deals, and even with your family and friends, when you have conversations and you may not, agree with what they're saying, but it allows you to step back away from it and look at it from their perspective and come back and say, okay, now I could understand where you're coming from. It helps me in my creativity, just in every day. It helps me as an artist to know if I'm painting this on the canvas, when I'm shopping for this show, this color and this color will go together. I can buy that shirt with those pants and piece it together with those shoes, because I know that those colors will blend well together, So it helps all the way around.
And you often go to art exhibits and have your artwork displayed in different cities, right?
Yes, I do. I've had my work displayed in Miami, during Art Basel twice, actually. I've gone to Columbus. I've had some work displayed there. Different shows around Cleveland. I've done a solo art show here. A few years back, I've also been a part of a lot of shows throughout the years here in Cleveland. There's some theater spaces that have displayed my work. Some restaurants, some studios. So I have pieces around.
And what do you enjoy most about being an artist?
The freedom of it. The freedom of not being restricted, even though it's not necessarily the most logical thing or practical thing that people would choose to sustain themselves. For me, the freedom of knowing that the things that I create from my thought process, from my mind, that I conjure up, can push me and can sustain me. And it allows me to know that I can thrive off of something that I enjoy doing, versus going with the norm because that's what society says I'm supposed to do. I think that's what keeps me creating, is that, I can make it, I guess. Did I answer that right?
Yeah, you answered it good. So if someone wanted to contact you regarding your art, what's the best way that they can contact you?
You can contact me through email, through Instagram. I have a website as well. My email address is artofm.andrea@gmail.com. My Instagram is artofm_Andrea. And my website is artofmiajones.com.
And give me all three of those one more time, just so the audience is clear to what they are again.
Do I need to spell it, or do I just
No, just
say
say
it?
it out.
Okay.
We'll put it on the screen for you.
My website is artofmiajones.com. My Instagram is artofm_Andrea. No. Yeah, that's right. And my, what did I do?
Instagram,
My
you
website.
need it.
That's my
Instagram.
artofm_Andrea is my Instagram. My website is artofmiajones.com, and my email is artofm.andrea@gmail.com.
You done good.
Okay.
I would like to thank my special guest, Miss Mia Jones, for hanging out with me today on Creative Focus. So that's it, Cleveland. We're out. Remember, a true artist is not only inspired, but inspires others. I'm Cornell Hubert Calhoun III for TV 20 and Creative Focus. Until the next time becomes our time, be well, be safe.